Excuse me, miss, what's an oligopoly?
Well, an oligopoly is a common economic system in today's society. Oligopoly is a middle ground between monopoly and capitalism. An oligopoly is a small group of businesses, 2 or more, that control the market for a certain product or service.
Okay, that makes sense.
You think you got it?
Yeah.
If you're still confused, here are some characteristics of an oligopolistic market. It has few sellers, firms produce and sell either identical or slightly differentiated products, and the barriers to entry are significant, which means it's difficult to enter.
What? I don't understand.
Ha! Most don't. I remember my first time learning about an oligopolistic market. Maybe some examples will help. Think about the products you see in your everyday life. For example, when you're walking down the cereal aisle and you pick up your favorite cereals, you may notice they're all made by the same corporations. This is because the cereal market is oligopolistic. The car industry is another common example. Most cars are produced and made by a small handful of companies. Oligopolies are everywhere.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so you're getting it now. Most oligopolist products are not unique. They produce almost identical goods, so you would expect sellers to face stark competition. Indeed, they do, from the few other sellers in the market. Where the oligopolistic seller does not face much competition is from potential sellers. Because it is so difficult to enter an oligopolistic market, current sellers are shielded from the new sellers.
So how do you know when a market is an oligopoly?
Economists determine whether a market is oligopolistic by looking at the percentage of sales accounted for by the top 4 firms in the industry. If only a few firms account for a large percentage of sales, then the market is considered oligopolistic. For example, suppose the cell phone industry consists of 10 firms, and the total revenue of this industry is $100 billion. The 4 firms with the highest sales, AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, and T-Mobile, generate $80 billion in revenue. In other words, the top 4 firms account for 80% of the total revenue in the industry, and the industry is dominated by the top 4 firms. Okay, good. Glad to see you're getting it. Now let's move on to something I like to call price discrimination. Price discrimination exists when a seller charges different prices to different buyers, and the price differences do not reflect the cost differences. Suppose a movie theater charges children $5 to see a movie and charges adults $10 to see a movie. If the movie theater experiences absolutely no cost difference when it comes to children and adults, the situation would be an example of price discrimination.
Why discriminate?
A seller would want to price discriminate if it increased total revenue. There are certain factors allowing price discrimination. First, different customers must be willing and able to pay different prices for a good. Second, sellers need to know who is willing to pay which price. Back to the whole movie theater example, movie theaters need to know who is willing to pay $10 and who is only willing to pay $5. Third, it has to be impossible or extremely costly for the good that is purchased by one customer to be resold to another. For example, once you buy a movie theater ticket and see a movie, it's impossible to sell it to someone else. The general perception is that price discrimination is illegal in the United States. However, it's only illegal under certain conditions. Price discrimination is not usually deemed illegal by government authorities if no injury occurs to the competition, or if the sellers can show that charging a lower price to some customers is necessary to adequately compete in the market.
Oligopolies, price discrimination, it all makes sense now. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, young economist.